George Lucas calls you, are you in?
Yes, I would totally do it, of course.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no plans as such to do it, as far as I know. I'd very much like to do one too. I think the story between episode 3 and episode 4, I think there's a story there. I think that's the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, if there is one. There's a lot of talk, and I'd be happy to play him again, but I don't know any more about it than you do. But it's so funny, I've been asked this question for years and years.
Ewan?
Yes?
Are you going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again?
Yes.
Hey Star Warriors, StarGeek here. After what seemed like a Star Wars drought for many months, we're finally getting more information about the upcoming shows and movies. At Disney's D23 event, fans were told a lot about what to expect from Lucasfilm in the coming years. The Clone Wars is confirmed to be coming out in February, with Dave Filoni at the helm to wrap up the most beloved animated Star Wars property in history. The short-lived Rogue One characters of Cassian Andor and K2SO are getting their own prequel show with Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk returning respectively, with all scripts completed and filming set to begin this coming year. This is a show that's still deep in development with very little known. In fact, it doesn't even have a title yet, but I'm really excited about this concept, and it's proven to work in the past when something extremely similar to this idea actually debuted in a Marvel comic book a couple of years back. The Mandalorian will be released weekly, episode by episode, to the new Disney Plus streaming service starting on November 12th. Writers-directors Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni introduced the show and the cast, including Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi as the highly anticipated IG-11 assassin droid character. All of them came out on stage to remark on their experience in the Star Wars universe. And of course, the trailer was released, featuring dark images of helmets on spikes, bounty hunter destruction, droids, aliens, space battles, carbonite victims, and people getting sliced in half. The Mandalorian is looking as if it's going to be a bit more intense than the average Star Wars film. A bold move for Disney's first major live-action television series for the property. A couple interesting throwback details include the title character's prod-like weapon, first used by Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special animated cartoon segment The Faithful Wookiee in 1978, and the appearance of a blurg, first introduced in the 1985 made-for-TV Ewoks Battle for Endor movie, and later appearing in some of the modern cartoons, being ridden by an Ugnaught to be voiced by Nick Nolte. The show's going to be taking place during the chaotic time right after the destruction of the Empire, and well before the birth of the First Order. I know that a lot of people have really high hopes for this show, and I honestly think that it will deliver, but we'll have to wait and see until November 12th. Speaking of the First Order, during the Episode 9 panel, a new teaser poster for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was officially released, featuring Rey and Kylo Ren dueling, surrounded by lightning-like effects and watched by the ominous face of Emperor Palpatine. And with it, a sizzle reel was reportedly shown featuring clips of the characters in previously unseen environments and situations, including, and this may be considered a spoiler to those of you who don't want to know too much about this movie, so I just want to warn you now, Rey in a dark, Sith-like cloak igniting a double-bladed red lightsaber. Whether it's just a dark force vision/dream, the true fate of Rey, or just some Darth Maul cosplay, is yet to be seen. But there are now plenty of speculations going around as to who's going to turn to the light side and or dark side, and save and or destroy the other from certain doom and or redemption. It's a little confusing, but it'll make sense when the movie's released, I'm sure. The reel is supposed to drop sometime on Monday. But by far the most talked about part of this Disney Expo came near the end of the main content showcase.
I am thrilled to bring out a beloved member of the Star Wars family.
Hello there.
Ewan McGregor is back. After years of speculation, hundreds of videos, and dozens of comments on mine telling me that it was never going to happen, we're finally getting the Obi-Wan Kenobi story. Set about 7 to 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, somewhere between the start and end of Solo, the story of Kenobi will take place during his time as a hermit on Tatooine, looking over Luke Skywalker. Whether or not the entire series will take place on Tatooine is still a mystery, but there are plenty of opportunities that they could take to have Ben go undercover off-planet for a story arc. The miniseries is unfortunately slated to only run for about 4 to 6 hour-long episodes, so while it won't be much content, it should at least be the length of 2 or 3 movies, which isn't too shabby if you ask me. Ewan McGregor looking so much like a young Alec Guinness, as well as looking so much like himself, makes him perfect and really the only pick to perform as the Jedi Master in hiding. And the fact that he's going to be directing a few, if not all of the episodes himself, is really exciting. We'll get to see the directing chops of a Force-guided man. All he really has to do is use his Jedi mind trick abilities on the audience, and it'll be a guaranteed hit. There's still lots of rumors going around about what the story is actually going to be about. With the death of Darth Maul in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels, Obi-Wan's biggest adversary is somewhat off the table as any driving force of conflict for the show, as it would go against the established canon. Another place to look for possible story inspiration is in the 2015 Marvel comic series, where Obi-Wan is heavily featured in flashback issues that focus on his time dealing with Hutt goons beneath twin suns. There are also rumors that a familiar mechanical co-star will be returning on screen throughout the series. There are many possibilities as to who this may be. Maybe Obi-Wan kept his astromech sidekick along with him for some company over the years, with R4-P17 making a grand return.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's right. With R4-G9 making her grand return then. But assuming it isn't one of these relatively obscure background characters, people are speculating that the phrase mechanical in this rumor refers to someone more accurately described as half mechanical, or maybe even 3/4 mechanical. While again, like Maul, Darth Vader's involvement in nearly any way would be difficult to canonically justify considering his ignorance to Obi-Wan's existence shown in A New Hope, a little Vader definitely wouldn't hurt the level of anticipation for the show. There's a lot to speculate on with all of these titles. From bounty hunters to droids, cackling overlords to desert hermits, the excitement for Star Wars content couldn't be more intense. As I've been saying almost non-stop for over 5 years now, this is a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
May the Force be with you.
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
Subscribe to StarGeek for in-depth Star Wars content. I've got a pretty big project that's in the works right now, and I really can't wait to share it all with you, so please stick around in the coming months. It's going to be worth it. If you enjoyed this video, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by clicking the links in the description. And you can check out my last video, a tribute to the life of Peter Mayhew, if you just click on the thumbnail. You can also click on the right to watch my analysis of the craziest Episode 9 Palpatine theories. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been StarGeek.
To think of what the audience expects and what they want. And he says, no, we have to do the opposite. We have to give them something they don't expect that we want.